The analyst who predicted the 2008 housing bust sees the U.S. home prices falling in both 2023 and 2024. Here's how much. Here's an article from Fortune. I will have a link to this article in the description below. And I just kind of want to touch on this article real quick. So this is a person who predicted the housing crash of 2008, and she called the top of the bubble at 2005. And she says, where is her quote? Right here. Look, let me highlight it. So right now we're getting a backlash of change in direction from free money to now the rise in mortgage rates and inflation. So the market is poised for a fairly significant price correction. And we're already seeing signs of that over the last several months. Inventories in certain markets, mostly on the West Coast, Southwest, and mountain states, are rising at Mach speed. So, and then she continues saying, as fast as inventory levels are rising and demand is plummeting, we could see pretty substantial home price corrections, but it is going to vary by market. I don't think it's going to just end quickly. This is going to be a very pressured market nationally in 2023 and 2024. So this person is predicting that the housing will continue to fall, maybe not like crash, but definitely continue to fall over the next 2 years. And then, but when we jump in and hear basically the contradiction, where Mark Zandi at Chief Economist at Moody's, they're saying sort of the opposite, like they're saying that we have record low vacancy, very good underwriting, and plain vanilla lending won't be enough to prevent a single digit drop in home prices. However, it will prevent the U.S. housing market from slipping into a full-blown housing crash. So he's saying like, yeah, maybe it's going to go down a little bit, but it's not, because the books look a lot better this time around. That most likely nothing crazy is going to happen. How do I personally feel about it? So I look at it a little bit like macro, right? I look at it from, if I was in space looking down. Look at this. This is 2019, okay? 2020 is the red line, 2021 is orange, and black is 2022. Look how much prices went up. This 3 years ago, homes were selling in the United States for about $274,000. Today, they're selling for $371,000. So about $100,000 more than they were a few years ago. And in that process, what ended up happening is we had coronavirus, which threw everything into a whirlwind. We printed a bunch of money. So because some people had the means to be able to buy, they bought in bulk. Companies went in and started buying properties because they took advantage of the record low inflation, and it made the housing bubble pop, right? To prices where now people cannot afford to live in their own communities. That's when things need to come down. What I'm basically trying to tell you is that if you look at it like this. People that were making if you had an amazing job that was paying you $274,000 a year, 3 years ago, did your salary now go up to $371,000? Did you make $100,000 more? If you were making $100,000 a year, are you now making $150,000 or $130,000, $140,000? I'm saying if you were making that in 2019, no, most jobs are not paying their employees that much more than they were back then. So basically, we're all getting paid the same, but houses went up by 30%. But on top of that, what we have is inflation. And right now, the feds are so freaked out because they printed so much money and inflation is through the roof. Everything is becoming more expensive. Rent is astronomically expensive. All-time high, guys. Literally, rent is at an all-time high. So what's happening is feds are hitting the brakes, they're raising the rates, and it's crashing the economy, right? There's no other way to put it, because they need to bring inflation down. In the process, we could see a lot of layoffs. I'm already seeing certain sectors getting hit pretty hard, and and money is basically running out. There is no more, the open faucet of water, it's not there anymore, right? So the well is dry. So now that there's no more access to free money, people are freaking out, and now it's more expensive to borrow. Everything is kind of haywire. Companies are starting to see a little bit of struggle. We're going to see how this holiday season does. I'm thinking that it's not going to be a good holiday season. And as a result, it could literally create, if GDP shrinks, then we could see some major layoffs. And then this article that we just read would be totally different. And this guy from Moody's will be totally different, because if people are getting laid off, guess what? It doesn't matter how good the books are. It doesn't matter if they had vanilla lending. What's going to matter is that they probably are not going to pay the mortgage. And what's also going to matter is that there's not going to be enough buyers in the market. So that is a recipe for making the prices drop. And they will drop, in my opinion, possibly to the 2019 levels. And I know it's hard to stomach that, because nobody wants to know what an economy is going to look like, where home prices drop to that 2019 level. But at the end of the day, that's where we're at right now, right? We are in a very weird market, and getting inflation down to a sustainable level of 2% is really the main goal. And it's going to hurt all the way down, unfortunately. But then the good thing is that housing doesn't jump back up right away. Housing is slow to come back. So we will have plenty of great buying opportunities. But again, we need to bring that inflation down. That is going to be the number one key. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish this video. I hope you enjoyed that article. There's definitely people arguing from both sides. Some people think it's going to crash. Some people think it's going to be a very soft landing. And there's people that think it's actually going to start to rise. I could see all those three weird scenarios. Really, it's all up to the feds, and it's all about where the world economy is, and it's all about the GDP growth. Are people spending money? Are people making money? Housing is connected to that, right? How's the stock market doing, and all those things. But, at the end of the day, when you look at rising rates, I can't help to think that it is going to crash. I lean on the side that the market is going to crash, the housing market. It is just way too expensive, and something's got to give. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish this video, and I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who's been watching my videos and supporting my channel and leaving comments. Thank you guys so much. If you're new to my channel and you like my videos, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button and go ahead and like and leave a comment. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.